Yeah, so please take a comfortable seat. I'm glad to be back with you where you can see me. I was able to see you on the iPad from the car while I was teaching, plugged into my, I guess that used to be the cigarette lighter, but now I don't know what they call it. I can't remember. Anyway, that's where I was plugged in to charge my phone and my iPad while I was teaching your class. So now I get to see you, you get to see me. So you can rest your hands in your lap. Let your eyes close if you like. As you take your seat and you establish your posture, each time we do that, there is a kind of ritual to it, how you present yourself, as it were, to your yoga practice. I do recommend that you lengthen your spine and make a little lift to the heart. It's helpful to bring your gaze inward and downward. If you can imagine yourself, and you may have to use imagination because this is a place that I've been to that not all of you have been to, but you could imagine that you're walking through the marketplace of India, which is often quite chaotic and also bedazzling and beautiful. But you're walking through that marketplace and you know that you're going back to the ashram to take a seat for your practice. And so all those footsteps are purposely moving you in that direction. You're not looking at the vendors, you're not purchasing bananas, you aren't getting more bindis, you're not looking at the mortis. You don't need another t-shirt. Purposely walking to take your seat. And whatever the marketplace of your mind has been today, you have managed to walk through that enough to come here and to take your seat. So embody your seat and let your breath help your mind to also be here in your seat. So inherently, you've already said no to so much about daily life. None of that needs your attention right now. You're saying yes to this. So as you lengthen up through your spine with the breath, start making a little more awareness at the top of the inhale and the bottom of your exhale. And each time that we arrive and we take our seat and we sense, here's the breath and here are the pauses. Now we've gotten some biofeedback, some real-time data about how we're doing, what's happening now. And please bring your hands together at your heart. And this morning we're going to practice Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu. Let's begin. Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Savidyang Karavavai, Tejasvinavaditamastu, Ma Vidvishavai. Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Savidyang Karavavai, Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidveshavai Sahana vavatu Sahanau bhunaktu Saviryang karavavai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidveshavai Om Shanti Om Shanti Shanti Om. And you may bow your head to your heart. And release your hands. And as you're sitting upright, we're going to do a little precursor to the pranayama that we've been doing. So what I'd like you to do on the inhale is squeeze your shoulders up towards your ears. And then exhale, drop the shoulders and sigh. Again, inhale, shoulders up. Releasing. Again. Twice more. Once more. Now reach back to interlace your fingers and give a good squeeze of the shoulders and your shoulder blades. Squeeze the upper back, lift your collarbones, and increase the sort of volume of that squeeze as you inhale slowly from the lower to the middle to the upper parts of your torso. Keep your hands clasped as you exhale. Again, when you inhale, go from the lower to the middle to the upper. Increase the squeeze of the arms and shoulders as the breath makes it into the upper third of the torso. The squeeze and the breath are going to be working against each other. Go ahead and exhale smoothly. So we're kind of enjoying that opposition, right? The breath is trying to expand your body from the inside. The shoulders are squeezing the upper back tight. Do it one more time, please. And then exhale, release the arms. Let your arms dangle alongside your torso. Your palms can hang freely, or the fingers can lightly touch the floor. Notice the energy of the back hemisphere of your body. Now interlace your fingers, point the heels of your hands down. And using the in-breath, your arms and your eyes together, breathe in ujjayi, the first and then middle and upper thirds of the breath. Make the head level and exhale, side bend to your left, keeping the arms overhead. Inhale up to center like you're filling up a wind sock and it inflates completely. And then exhale, side bend to your right. Keep your left hip grounded. Inhale, rise up to center. Exhale, arms wide, twist to your right. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, squeeze your hands down behind your head. Place the pinkies at the occiput. Inhale, elbows forward, chest and heart up. Exhale, level your head, widen the elbows. And now inhale, left elbow forward, right elbow up, twist to your right. Exhale, side bend to your left. You can lower the left arm, keep the right hand in position. Inhale, rise up to your twist. Exhale to center. Inhale, twist left. Bring the right elbow forward, left elbow up. Exhale, side bend to your right. Inhale, up to your twist. Exhale to center. And now inhale to go up. And exhale, press out and wide and down. Rest your hands out over your knees and close your eyes. So for all the footsteps you took and the mental process of arriving here too, let the mind drop down to an inner sense of grounding. And then please come up to standing in horse stance. And I'll change my camera view. Two kittens asleep in a basket. Two kittens not going to the marketplace, they're asleep in the basket. So in horse stance, place your hands on your knees and let the torso come forward. Yeah, just like that. Okay, we're going to still inhale first, middle, and upper third. And I'd like you to really concentrate on how you exhale in this position today. So let the inhale be spacious, expansive, nourishing. Try not to spend the inhale time anticipating your exhale. But when you do go to the exhale, be specific. Concentrate on exhaling from the pubic bone to the perineum, up the tailbone, the front of the sacrum, the front of the abdomen, up kind of behind the stomach even, as far up as the third chakra. And maybe even the exhale you can sense as far up as at the heart. And then inhale slowly again from the first to the middle to the upper thirds of the torso. Using the ujjayi breath, keep the pace consistent. So the volume of air moving through you is a consistent pace, whether it's inhale or exhale. Do one more breath cycle, please. And now walk your heels and toes out and come to your jazz dance warm-up pose. We're going to practice the same kind of attention for the breath. So the inhale is first, middle, and upper thirds of the breath. You can keep your gaze down. And my invitation to you this afternoon is to really focus on the exhale. Start the exhale at the pubic bone, move towards the perineum, the center of the pelvic floor, and then move up the front of the spine. Make a thoughtful transition into your in-breath. With your next inhale, press down slowly with your heels so that as the breath rises first, middle, and upper third, you are also rising up to stand in your full height. Let's make the feet parallel and then exhale from the pubic bone to the perineum, but come down into Prasarita Padottanasana. Reach back and interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders open. Relax the weight of your head. And as you energize your leg muscles, let the torso be a little bit more like water. So the torso and the arms, they have permission to be fluid, but let the legs be very stable. And let's try this breath again. So you're going to inhale first, middle and upper thirds of the breath. In the torso, it includes the collarbones. And then exhale from the base, from your pubic bone to the perineum, up the front of the sacrum, the front of the spine. In this position, your torso has been in flexion. Now release the clasp of your hands and walk your hands out on your yoga mat. So walk the hands out like you're doing downward dog, but place your hands as fingertips, as cupped palms instead of flat palms. And try the same breath one more time. And you may notice that it feels different because now your spine is not in so much flexion. In fact, you've added thoracic extension. Now place your palms flat and transition into downward facing dog pose, where your arms are going to be weight bearing and the feet will be hip distance apart. And try the same breath for one more breath cycle, maybe 2 or 3, but really concentrate on the inhale being first, middle, and then upper third. And the exhale starting at the pubic bone, going to the perineum, and then up the front of the spine. I know this is requiring your concentration, so thank you for doing your best. It's also requiring your imagination, and let me emphasize that you can't really get this wrong. You're exploring, and with consistent exploration, you're going to discover that which yoga has been teaching. So try not to go too much into the intellect about it. Let's share one more breath cycle here. And then roll yourself forward, touch your knees down, come to kneeling. You can take a blanket to put between the hips and heels, or you could sit on a block in Vajrasana if you prefer. Rest your palms face down. Let's imagine you walked through the marketplace of the mind also, and now you are once again taking your seat. So you just walked through the marketplace of concentration. The word for that in yoga is dharana. Dharana. I'd like you to have a block or 2 in front of you. So kind of at the ready. And palms face down, we're going to do Kapalabhati. Then we'll pause, and then we'll practice Karma Mudra, and then we'll pause. So at the solar plexus, let's begin. Exhale completely. Inhale lower, middle, and upper, up to inhale suspension. Exhale smoothly and completely. Start the exhale at the perineum, moving up the front of the spine. And we're going to repeat Kapalabhati. This is a chance to shift the physiological experience of O2, CO2, and also to stimulate the fire in the belly. We're going to use hopefully the quiet that comes after this, we'll be using for Korma Mudra, which I'll explain when the time comes. Okay, so one more time. Exhale completely. Inhale up to suspension. Exhale thoughtfully, smoothly, completely. At the end of the exhale, let the lower belly relax. Relax the base of your spine, pelvic floor. Soften the abdomen, the diaphragm, your tongue, your throat, and all five senses. Now make two fists and place them in the low belly, right at the inguinal groove, so that when you exhale, you're going to have the support of the fists in the lower belly to come forward, where your head is going to rest on a block or two, or perhaps more. When we exhale like that, and we're finishing the exhale as we come down, then while we're down there, we will have exhaled. We're going to relax the muscles that made the exhale, but will not be inhaling. It's called inhale suspension. Exhale suspension. So you squeeze the exhale out. While you're supported, you relax the exhale muscles, and there should be an internal sense of like an automatic vacuum that happens. Okay, this is contraindicated if you're pregnant or if you're having your menstrual cycle, and you should speak to your medical provider if you have a hiatal hernia or a condition where there's pressure in the eyes. Okay, let's breathe in, ujjayi breath. And then exhale, coming forward. Press your fist into the low belly. You are facilitating a stronger, more complete exhale. As you get to the bottom of the exhale, then rest your head, rest your elbows, keep the fists, but relax without breathing in. Then tone the belly and inhale to rise up to kneeling. Exhale, relax. Let's try it again. Breathe in. Exhale, fold over. In your own timing, tone the belly, and then inhale, rise up to kneeling. Exhale, relax. Do this one more time. You inhale at your own timing to come back up, and then exhale to relax. Let your mind go deeply down to be connected where you're most grounded. Keeping a sense of that grounding. Now please place your 2 blocks at the front of your mat, and we're going to come up for Surya Namaskar. And earlier this week we were practicing this during one of my yoga training modules, and I was teaching the art of compression and then the release of compression. So you couldn't see me in that practice because I didn't have enough electricity. I didn't have any electricity, and I didn't have enough battery on my iPad. So when you come down to this version of chair pose, it's going to look like this, where you're fairly well parallel to the floor, and you have the chest and thighs touching. So that's the compression here at the inguinal groove, and some pressure on the abdomen. So join your hands at your heart, please. Okay, with the ujjayi breath, inhale, lower, middle, upper portions of the breath. Exhale, chair pose, a deep seat chair pose. We're going to stay for a couple breath cycles. So to the extent you reach the arms forward, your hips can go more deeply back. Keep the heels and the toes grounded together. Allow your body to still breathe. Continue breathing. Don't hold the breath when a pose is vigorous. Now we're going to exhale, pour yourself down into Uttanasana, press into the 2 blocks to help complete the exhale with stronger abdominal muscles. And then inhale, return to chair pose as you normally practice it. Now exhale, push down, rise up, upward hands pose. And inhale, open your chest and your heart. And exhale, mountain pose. So when you compress the hips at the front, then we stand up again. There's a flush that goes down the legs. And we're going to add to the sequence. Here we go. Inhale, ujjayi. Chair pose, the deeper version of your chair pose. Breathing in, slow and steady. And breathing out, slow and steady. Again, smooth breath cycle in and out. Now exhale, pour yourself down to Uttanasana. Inhale, glide your heart forward. And exhale, take your left toes back. Pivot your left heel like Virabhadrasana 1 and let the torso stay over your right thigh. Press back into your left inner heel and snug the outer right hip into the center line of the pose so it's very stable. You are compressing the right hip joint in terms of the circulation down the right leg, and you're doing that on purpose at the moment. So keep the back of the body broad with the inhale and keep the mind in equanimity. Now with your next exhale, float your left foot forward and arrive in your chair pose, the deeper version of your chair pose. Then inhale up to chair pose as you normally do it. And exhale, push down to rise up. Inhale to open. And exhale, mountain pose. Let your mind go downstream into your right foot. Your palms together. Inhale, ujjayi. Okay, and chair pose, the deeper version of your chair pose. Breathe in. And then exhale, pour yourself down into Uttanasana. Inhale, glide your heart forward. Exhale, right toes back. You're going to place the foot in Virabhadrasana 1 and let the torso rest on but not burden the left thigh. So keep the left outer hip snug to the center line of your pose. Reach back into your right heel. Even though the pose has these sensations in the musculoskeletal body, we're really much more about moving the energy of the vayus right now. So this compression on the left hip is on purpose. Allow the breath to be smooth so your mind has some equanimity and ease. Now with your next exhale, press into your left heel and toes and float your right foot forward to the chair pose. That's the deeper version. Inhale your regular chair pose. And then exhale, push down, rise up. Inhale to open. And exhale, mountain pose. Let your mind go down, maybe to both footprints this time. And join your hands together. This one we'll practice will include Anjaneyasana with a little twist. So inhale, upward hands pose, please. You exhale, chair pose, the deeper version of chair pose. And exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, glide your heart forward. And let's step the left toes back, exhale. Take your left knee down to the floor, please. Yeah. And put the two blocks as a little desk for your left arm. Cross your left elbow to hold your right shin, right hand to your right knee. Allow the hips to come forward like Anjaneyasana. And add this twist of the inner belly to your right. So keeping the right shin in with the support of the left hand and applying some pressure from your right hand down against your knee, we are deliberately adding some compression to the right hip and some pressure against the abdomen. See if you can make the breath smooth, consistently steady. Offer your mind some equanimity. Okay, with your next exhale, return, and you can set the blocks, sorry about that, you can set the blocks again. Inhale, straighten your left leg, and here we're going to exhale, step the left foot forward, come back into your deep chair pose. Inhale, chair pose itself, your regular chair pose. And then exhale, push down, rise up. And inhale to open, mountain pose with your exhale. Let the mind go down, sifting through all the sensations, even the physiological sensations. Back to the ground. Join your hands. Okay, inhale. And then chair pose, deeply down. And breathe in. Okay, exhale, Uttanasana. Firmly press into your heels and your hands to tone the belly. Inhale your heart forward. Okay, right toes back, step deeply back so the right knee goes down. You can stack the two blocks like a little desk or a bench for your right forearm. Place the right hand on your left shin, left hand on your left knee. And as you're twisting your lower belly to the left, allow the right hip to come down. So there is a nice opening for the hip flexors and your right psoas. To enjoy the compression that you are on purpose doing, try expanding your breath across the back of your waist and also to keep your mind in some equanimity. Okay, let's exhale, release. So you can place both blocks on the ready and then inhale, straighten your right leg. And exhale, step forward into your chair pose. Last time. Inhale, chair pose regular. Exhale, push down to rise up. And inhale to open. Exhale, mountain pose. Encourage your mind to go down and down to the ground. So the mind has to go through the marketplace of the sensations and not get distracted, not to be lured hither or thither, but to go down. You take a wide stance like we did earlier in class, a wide stance, Prasarita Padottanasana, and come down. Walk the hands out, and let's just see how your experience with the breath may be here now. So when you inhale, is it possible that the breath begins in the back of the pelvic floor and comes up the sacrum, the interior of the spine, but into the back of the waist as well, including the back of the heart? And when you exhale, try beginning your exhale at the pubic bone, then to the perineum and up the front of the spine. Walk your hands, when you're ready to, back towards your feet. Take a blanket for your seat. And I'd like you to also have a yoga strap if you have one close by. Even better if you have a long yoga strap. Step the left foot in and the right leg out, like this. Take your yoga strap, your extra long loop in your strap. Place it around the mount of the big toe on the right, and then weave your left hand into that loop behind you. So mine is already set for the length of the strap. You can adjust your length by using your buckle in whatever way you need to. The strap does go across the mount of the toes here. It is around the small of your back. And then try to slide your left wrist in there. Place the left hand on the floor behind you. Please twist to your left. Now, as you keep the left hand on the floor behind you, the strap is causing this opportunity for the left shoulder. So press it back and keep the left shoulder pressed strongly back so the upper left chest is quite open right now. Energize your right leg all the way to the inseam, the heel, and the big toe. And then begin to side bend. When you're side bending to your right, keep the left wrist taut on the strap. So the left shoulder is going to stay back. You're not going to raise the left arm overhead this afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. But the side bend here as you're going is also a feeling of a back bend in the heart and a twist. And you may explore where the head feels the most delicious. Keep the left shoulder drawn back. You can use the tension of the strap to help the left shoulder stay in that most open position. It's open on the front of your shoulder. Indeed, it is compressed on the back of the shoulder. And that is on purpose. Now root down into your left hip and heel. Roll yourself up to sitting. Release the left arm. And pause. We'll think of this like our mountain pose moments when we were standing. It would be expected that you're going to feel weird, left to right, some differences. Okay, let's put the left leg out and fold the right in. I figured out how to keep the kittens from drinking my water during yoga class. I put lemons in here, and they're large lemons. Kittens apparently don't like lemon water, but the larger the lemon, the more likely the glass is to stay upright if they sniff it and find it offensive. Okay, right wrist in the strap behind you and twist to your right. Roll your right shoulder back and give a good squeeze to the shoulder blade. So the upper right chest is really encouraged to be open right there. Yeah. And keeping the left leg very steady. Encourage there to now be a side bend that you're adding to your twist while keeping this back bend in the chest and the heart. The strap between your left foot and your right hand, they should have a friendly amount of tension between them. And you may want to explore, where does your head feel the most luxurious opening for the neck? And then I'm going to exhale, rise up to sitting. So release your right hand from the strap. If you like, bring the left foot in so this is closer to your mountain pose. This is actually called Siddhasana. But notice what's happening now. You had compression for the shoulder. What is it like now? Down through your arm. You also had compression in the pelvis to each side. What's happening now for being more grounded? And please take this to your Shavasana. And if you'd like, since you have a strap and a couple blocks for your Shavasana this afternoon, sorry. What you could do for your Shavasana is put the block and make a little holding container with a strap. So something like that for lying down for your Shavasana. We want your Shavasana to be deep and nourishing. So once you lie down, please let the mind get really still. Remind yourself that you already left the marketplace to come to your mat. And so even in Shavasana, you're not in the marketplace of the mind. Let the mind be deeply at rest. It's most grounded. Allow your mind to rest. This precious time of recalibration. And keeping your mind at ease in this most grounded part of your mind. Start to sense the imprint your body has on your yoga mat. Remind yourself you're here in the present. Welcome a slightly deeper breath in. And a slightly more complete exhale. And please wiggle your fingers and your toes. And bend your knees and roll to your side to come back to your seat. And join your hands together at your heart. May the mind not go too deeply into the marketplace, the meanderings that would pull you away. Even if you have duties or responsibilities today, may your yoga stay with you. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. I will come up to see you closer. For those of you who might have heard snoring, that was the kitten. He is a loud sleeper, apparently. Okay. How did you guys get that sign in to Zoom? Anna the cat, Vincent the squirrel. Okay. Yeah, I'll change the spotlight here. Did you hear the cat snoring during Shavasana? You couldn't hear it? Okay, all right. Oh, Evelyn could hear it. Okay, others couldn't hear it. All right. Yeah. Okay, Marlene. Yeah. How is this practice feeling for you today?